On this episode of Delivering Marketing Joy, I talk with Nick Lateur, the #1 person on the Online 18, and how he took over Monday. Hey there, and welcome to a brand new episode of Delivering Marketing Joy. I am your host, Kirby Hasseman, and joining me today is a verifiable rock star in the industry. He's #1 on the Online 18, Nick Lateur. He's Imagine Brands National Sales Manager. Nick, thanks for taking the time out of your touring schedule to be here.
Hang on one second. No, don't. My publicist, all these groupies are trying to come in my hotel room here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's my pleasure, Kirby. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, man. So I'd like to jump right in because you truly did kind of shoot to the top of the Online 18, which is Dale Denham's cool list that he puts together of online influencers in our industry. So first, congratulations.
Oh, thanks.
And second, what was your first takeaway when you sort of found out, and what did you think of the list?
It was weird. I remember I had a notification on my phone. I usually turn notifications off for social media. But I had them on that day because I was waiting for something. I don't know what. And Dale Denham mentioned you in a post. And I'm like, I've known Dale for a couple of years. We're friends, but I thought, is this some sort of, what is this?
Yeah.
I looked at it and I kind of stared at my phone. I think it was this. I think I was going. And I didn't, it just didn't process. He said some really nice things and, but I don't really, the things I do on social media, I feel like are more for me selfishly. I don't want to do something that I think is kind of funny or different or fun. And it's worked into it to work. I mean, a lot of my customers I'm friends with, and it's kind of worked out well, but I was honestly shocked. I didn't know it was pure shock. It was just, I kind of froze up.
Yeah, no, that's fair. It really is. I think Dale does a lot of research and he gives a lot of thought to that list. And I was excited to see you pop up. And it's funny because I've actually used you as an example of consistency in one of the sessions I give on personal branding. And things like this, I always say they create the idea of an overnight success. But you show up every single Monday morning. Monday's your thing. Why do you think that consistency ends up being important?
It's funny. It was actually an exercise. It turned into an exercise in self-discipline. I've never been known as a very disciplined person. I'm kind of, I feel like my legacy or my history in life has been, hey, I had a great idea and I do something really creative. And then all of a sudden something else comes up and I go, that's a cool idea too. I don't know. Yeah, right. It's the Squirrel Effect, I guess. But, so for me, and I've been in the industry now only about 4.5 years, and I realized very quickly how much I love the industry. You always hear that once you're in it, you never leave, right?
Right.
But I honestly did. It's the first time in my life that I've really been fulfilled professionally, and I wake up wanting to go work on a project or do something fun. It's just the community that we have here in promo is just amazing. So it's more of a matter of me having a schedule or something regular to do. It didn't start out purposeful. I didn't say, I'll create some sort of Monday thing.
Right.
It quickly turned into that, and now it's turned into this. It's something that I now can count on, and it gets my week started and hopefully gets everybody else's week started who pays attention to it. But
yeah, one of the graphics, and I think you put it up, but then I've stolen it from you to use in this session, is it literally said 70 Mondays in a row. And I just, I think one of the most undervalued things that we talk about when we talk about people who have influence or personal brand is the idea of showing up on a consistent basis. And when you posted that, I'm like, when you do anything 70 times in a row, you've committed to the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it shocked me too. I started thinking about it because I started having second and third level sort of family members or people who have maybe aren't even on social media. I'd go to a family gathering and my mother-in-law goes, "Oh, have you seen Nick's Mondays?" and like, my wife's grandma going, "What are you talking about?" So then they pull out the phones and they start showing pictures of me staring off into the sky, and it's like they just kind of look at it like, well, that's weird. but yeah, it's turned into kind of a thing.
Yeah, it has. And so I guess my final question to you is just kind of to dig into that a little bit. The idea of coming into Monday, I mean, where did it come from? And how have you tried to evolve it? Has it evolved on its own? Talk a little bit about that.
It was completely accidental. I went to, it was about a year and a half ago now. I believe it was in June of 2018. Okay. And we were taking right around my daughter's birthday, we were taking some pictures in the yard. And I was holding my mother-in-law's dog, and the dog was kind of staring off. And I thought, so it started because, I'm not a mean-spirited person, but I think when you're viewing social media, a lot of times you can immediately point out when people are being fake, or when it's an inspirational quote and you kind of know that person, and you're going, I don't think that's you. And so, like, the idea of an Instagram model, right, where you're walking down the street and you see some girl like looking off this way, and then her boyfriend or whoever's behind her, like angling a camera, and she's not looking at the camera. She's acting like she's oblivious to the camera, right? So I'm holding my mother-in-law's dog like this. The dog's looking this way, and I go, oh, like, take a picture. So we look off, and it was Monday, so I said, oh, heading into Monday, like ... like, oh, there's some secondary influence, meaning there. So I happened to do it the next week. It was Monday, and something else was going on. I think it was in my yard, and I thought, this will be funny. I'm an influencer now, haha, like, trying to just make fun of myself, make fun of the whole thing. Literally 2 days after that, someone called me, one of my customers, and goes, oh, what are you doing next Monday? And I go, for what? What do you mean? Like, oh, for your Monday thing. I go, I don't have a Monday thing. She goes, oh yeah, you do. So 2 weeks in, I go, shit, excuse my language, but I have a Monday thing.
You have a thing.
I have a thing. So literally from that point, I made it, and this has helped me, like I said, with discipline and with just having something to build every Monday. I have to do something. It's it's total passion project, but it got started quite accidentally. But it is, as you mentioned, I think consistency is the key with anything. It quickly turned into a thing where my customers recognized me for Mondays. I wasn't forcing product. I wasn't going, hey, check out this tumbler on a Monday. It was just completely secondary. And our relationships built on our industry's built on relationships. And if you can have trust and know that I'm not trying to sell you used cars every day, then it's been really effective.
It's funny about, and I think, if there's a theme to this, it is consistency. So when I got into the industry, it was a similar thing. But I had straight commission sales. I knew I needed to do something on Monday mornings, and I was always questioning that my clients wanted me to roll into their office at 8:30 on a Monday morning. I figured they, maybe wanted to pump the brakes and get some coffee. So I actually started doing emails on Monday morning early on, before email marketing was ruined, right? And so the funny part about it is it evolved. And if I started an email list today, I would never do it on a Monday morning. Right? All the studies will tell you. But I've been doing it for so long. But I did exactly that. I transitioned, realizing when I started, it was all product. Because I was a sales guy, but I was like, okay, if I'm doing this at 10 o'clock on Monday morning, this needs to be inspirational. This needs to be fun. It needs to be, and so our weekly newsletter, it has no product in it on Monday morning because of exactly that. It's like people are searching for something to get them going. And so I think that's cool that you filled that space. So kudos.
Well,
man.
And social media is different, right? I know my habits. I like to scroll through and look at pictures. I'm not reading someone's diatribe about their week. I'm not reading. I'm just kind of waking up Monday going, I've got my coffee. I'm going, okay, oh, that's funny. That's weird. That's, so maybe, and my whole outlook on life is, life's too short to be a dick. So, I mean, seriously, don't that. My parents taught me that earlier, accidentally taught me that. Just don't be a dick. Just respect people period.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine. I feel like my contribution has to be whatever my personality is. Try to be funny. Try to, do something where people kind of chuckle and then they see the crazy political news or the terrible things that happen. So, so product has no place on a Monday morning for our customers because they get it crammed down their throat anyway. So I think you're completely spot on with that.
Cool, man. Well, you've answered my 3 questions. I give everybody a chance to ask me a question. Do you have one for me?
What's your favorite color? No. I do want to know that. We'll talk about that later offline.
It's blue, but go ahead.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Good one. So you interviewed Jeff Fenster with Everbowl recently. I saw that interview. I loved it. It was great. I like guys like that are entrepreneurs are into it. And he stole my question unknowingly, which was, what is your why? What things that interest me about people are the things that I look for in myself. Why am I doing what I'm doing? What's the point? What drives me? So I can't ask that. He already asked it.
Okay.
But kind of along the same lines, I know I've had this, so I want to know if you've had it. Did you have this sort of, you're a successful guy, you're running this really great show, you're a well-known guy in our industry, you're crushing it for all intents and purposes, and you have been for years.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Did you have a like an aha moment, like an epiphany at some point where you go, this is, maybe it's general, maybe it's specific to this show, where you kind of go, this is what I need to be doing, and you got this clarity? Or
yeah, I'd say a couple times, honestly. So the first one that pops in my head, and we talk about at our company, delivering marketing joy. That's our sort of mission, our tagline, whatever it is. And we started doing an end user show. And it was funny, we sell promo, we do branded merchandise, but we're doing it around this event. And so all the folks were shipping in their stuff. The suppliers were, the Viking tumblers from Imagine Brands were coming in, whatever. And every day, literally, the whole team would come up and we'd get a box in and we'd be like, ooh, I wonder what we're getting. And I mean, we sell this for a living, but it was a little piece of Christmas morning. Every single time there was a box that came in. And that was an aha moment for me. I was like, oh, this is the feeling we want to portray to our customers. And then from the content perspective, it really, for me, I think I made a shift when I went from trying to build a personal brand to trying to provide value. And it's funny how when you try to provide value, the personal brand follows. And delivering marketing joy was kind of I'd tried a bunch of other stuff, and this piece right here was the one where I'm like, oh, I get to sit through a university where I'm talking to really smart people, but hopefully our audience does too. And so once I made that shift, I think that's when things started to come together a little bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I love that.
Cool, man. Well, Nick, I really appreciate you taking the time, holding your publicist off and all the people at your hotel room door. And we'll have to do it again sometime, okay?
Absolutely.
Cool,
Thank
man.
you.
You bet. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. We'll see you next time.